Hi, it's Steve Hargadon, and welcome to the 2017 Global Education Conference. We're in our final hours. This has been such a fun event this year, the 7th year of our event. And we're really privileged and pleased to have Tonya Muro here from iEARN, who's been a longtime friend both at AFS and now at iEARN. And iEARN have been, as an organization, has been a huge supporter of this event. So, Tonya, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So thanks to iEARN and our other sponsors and supporters, the IF International, Google for Education, TES, and the rest. You'll see them on the sponsor and supporter page on the website. They make this event possible and allow it to be free. For those of you participating live, now's your chance to indicate where you are located in the world. Look to the left of the map. You're looking for the star icon. Double click on it and then click on the map. And then feel free to put a shout out in the chat. Let us know where you are, time, temperature, any big news. It's always a thrill to see those stars pop up. Different time zones, different connectivity. Govinda's up late. Puerto Rico, Oman. Somebody's drawing squiggles on the map. Okay, we're going to move on, but keep those notes coming in the chat. Tonya, we're going to turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. I am not going to do video the entire time because that might eat up the bandwidth and we'll all freeze out, and we don't want to do that. But I really wanted to say hello live because I'm so thrilled to be here with you today, to be representing iEARN-USA and a proud partner and co-sponsor of this amazing event, 7 years running. So I will pop in and out so you can see my face. I'm sad that I can't see all of you, but I can certainly see you in the chat box and hope to continue our connections well after this talk. And this is meant to be interactive as much as we can. So welcome, welcome. And this is my office, as you can see. And I have my wonderful colleague, Jennifer Russell, next to me, who is helping to facilitate. That's her hand there. Okay, let's switch back to without video, but you'll see me again at the end of our conversation today. And it is meant to be a dialogue. So here we are. I've been asked to speak with you today about what it means to be a member of this global community, how we learn with the world through virtual exchanges, how we can build bridges together and break down barriers. It seems particularly poignant and timely given the state of the world and the state of what happened in the United States in the past week and how it's affecting all of us beyond borders. And this is not meant to be a political conversation, but at the same time, I think it's important to recognize that a lot of people are in pain and trying to heal, and hopefully dialogues like this can be one step towards that. So my name is Tonya. I am the Executive Director of iEARN-USA. Been in the role since January, and we will continue to go from there. The outline for today is that we're going to be doing some more introductions, and I have an exercise for you that I would like for you to talk about your first memorable intercultural learning experience. We're going to talk more about what virtual exchange is. It very much is aligned with global collaboration. A little different, but very aligned. Also introducing that we have a coalition, which is called the Virtual Exchange Coalition, and then introducing iEARN-USA. If some of you don't know who we are yet, most of you do, so we won't spend a lot of time on it. But then one of our featured projects that's been in session right now is called the Bridge Project, which is a Stevens Initiative project, which we will tell you more about. And then we're going to introduce our wonderful colleague Morad from Morocco, iEARN Morocco, MERN, and he's going to talk about this really, really exciting conference that we want you to all come to next year, and then time for discussion and Q&A. I used to be a middle school teacher, and I'm a former cheerleader, so that's kind of the way I speak. So I want you all to know that I am so excited to be amongst all of you, and it's just trying to get a feeling that we're all in the same room together. So let's keep going. A little bit about me. This is small on your screen, I apologize. I am a mother of 6-year-old twins. Those are my beautiful girls, Abby and Penny, and that is one of the iEARN projects, the KITES project. And we had Take Your Children to Work Day. We have in our office 3 mothers, Dina, Bridget, and myself, who all have children, and at various times our kids have come in, and it's been really powerful to see kids come, and the girls love we flew the kites and messages of peace for the world. Very powerful project. I have a doctorate from Teachers College, Columbia University, which is across the street here from the iEARN offices. I am the proud executive director, and I saw that Rudy already presented, so it's great that there's a picture of the KITES project and showing solidarity. And I have been in this role since January 2016. I've come at this role from I've worked at various NGOs, both in the U.S. and internationally. I am an optimist and global citizen, studied, traveled, and worked in nearly 30 countries. I speak Spanish fluently. I'm Mexican-American, and I speak a tiny bit of Swahili because I lived in Tanzania. My favorite quote that guides me and governs me in my life is to let your vision be world-embracing rather than confined to your own selves. And you'll see the picture on the right is our team, our U.S. team of intrepid employees. The team is amazing. We ran a 5K, 3.1 miles, through generosity to help raise funds for more meaningful cross-cultural exchanges. Jambo Signi, thank you. So I would love to continue the multilingual chat. So I would like for you in the chat box to please write down your first intercultural learning experience. Mine was when I was about 5 years old, and my Mexican abuelita, grandmother, introduced me to arroz con pollo, which is rice with chicken with rice. I actually didn't know how to say it in English until a few years later, but ay que rico, which means how amazing. That is not the actual picture from when I was 5, but that's kind of how my abuelita made it, with peppers and salsa and yum. And I know rice is the great equalizer around the world, and chicken for most people, unless you're vegetarian. That is my dad and my brother, and we were at a United Nations event, and I was about 5 in that photo. So I thought it was important for you to actually see that we were supporting the United Nations even way back then. So if you can write in the chat box your first experience, that would be great. So if that means that you traveled when you were 12, and we'll just take a few minutes in the chat box to just write down what you're all experiencing. Somebody most likely celebrating a Jewish holiday and learning about food, traditions, and ceremonies. So much rich information. First intercultural learning experience with Mexico, getting to know my best friends and family from Mexico. Yvonne, welcome Yvonne. Good friend growing up that was Filipino. Spent a lot of time at her house immersed in their culture. This is the kind of stuff that we could spend the whole hour doing, so keep it going, and I'll refer back to it as I'm toggling back and forth. So this is the question that really guides us in our work. This essential question: what if every student, regardless of age or geography, could have a meaningful international exchange experience as part of their education? What if every student? That meant every single student, the entire world. It's a pretty big, bold, and audacious goal, but we are trying to realize that in our work through global collaboration and virtual exchange. And many of you are doing this work. We are one of many, but we have very ambitious goals, and we hope to continue to scale programming and That's what virtual exchange tries to do. We call it a worldwide movement in empathy. Especially since in the United States, the statistics are sobering. Only 1 in approximately 10,000 students gets to participate in a year or semester program. Those numbers, might go up a little bit for a summer program, and probably more students travel, but in average, that if you're in high school or secondary school, that's about where it's at. And after what's happened this year, we don't know if the statistics will go up or down. It's hard to say. So you can imagine that for most of the world, they don't get to travel, and that's why the vision of iEARN is to create access and opportunity for all, as with what Steve and Lucy have done with this conference, to really add more people to the great global table. What is virtual exchange? It is a growing field. It is a new field. The definition is that virtual exchanges are technology-enabled, sustained people-to-people education programs. Sustainability is really important, and that they're part of an educational component. They've been developed over the past 30 years from experiences in the field of educational exchange and study abroad, and evolving rapidly with the explosive growth in new media technologies and platforms. Virtual exchanges have been integrated at all levels of education, from kindergarten through university, and are distinctive in their use of new media platforms to enable deep interactive social learning. I'm sure many of you know about virtual exchange or engaged in them. And if you actually are already doing virtual exchanges, please note that in the chat box as well. By employing a wide variety of technologies and educational pedagogy, virtual exchanges make it possible for every young person to access high-quality international and cross-cultural education. And virtual exchanges function in a synergistic and complementary way with physical exchange programs. They can prepare, deepen, and extend physical exchanges, and by reaching new populations and larger numbers, fuel new demand for physical exchange. So you can see that we want them to be an indispensable component of global citizenship and global competence in the world, obviously not just for U.S. students. There are 3 founding members of what was called the Virtual Exchange Coalition: Global Nomads Group, iEARN-USA, and SOLIA. Global Nomads Group, who many of you have probably heard of, does complementary work, different but complementary to the work that we do. We've actually partnered a lot, and we've partnered with SOLIA. SOLIA occupies the tertiary educational space, and their work is primarily in the Middle East and North Africa and students in United States colleges and universities. The coalition was formed in May of 2011 to really look at, it used to be called the Exchange 2.0 Coalition, but then virtual exchange made more sense because we wanted it to really be a field as physical exchanges and not be something as a fringe or an add-on. We wanted to collaborate to advance virtual exchange and reach more young people. And the coalition has been working in earnest to really build the field, create advocacy, create more opportunities for people to engage in this process. And part of that process was the creation of the Stevens Initiative. And if any of our friends from Stevens have joined the keynote, please write that in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you. But we will be talking more about one of our programs that has been generously supported by Stevens called the Bridge Program. And that has expanded virtual exchange to many new communities, many new partners. It's a public-private partnership, and we're going to tell you more about that soon, giving you a preview. Now we're going to just spend just a few minutes on who we are, because I have a feeling some of you that have joined this are learning about iEARN-USA for the first time. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're old-time partners. I have a feeling at least 60 to 80% of the room knows who we are, but I'm just going to give you, because we did a refresh on our vision and mission, and that I think is important to share with you because that's new. Our vision and mission we created together as a staff, and the board is obviously a big part of this process as well, is that we aim to have an interconnected, peaceful, and just world. And then our mission is to empower young people, their schools, their communities, through global collaboration and transformative learning. And that You know, those are big goals, but we try in our daily work to make those a reality. Thank you for your question, Juma. Can I be a member? We'll get back to your questions. Please keep the questions coming. My colleague Jen is helping to get to those too. A little bit about iEARN's history. We started in 1988 with the founder Peter Koppen, with our first executive director, Ed Greger, who is an amazing trailblazer and force of nature. If you're on this keynote, Ed, welcome. Lisa Jobson is also a big part of building this field. In 1988, we linked 12 schools in Moscow working with the Soviet Academy of Sciences and 12 schools in New York working with the New York State Department of Education. And it was an old phone and an old connection where we emailed, we had video speakerphones and student exchanges, and that made the New York Times. So that's with Peter Koppen and the teachers and the students, and it was really revolutionary, as you can imagine, because we were still behind the Iron Curtain, and it was as a concept that was really very rare in the world at that time. iEARN now in 2016 is that we've expanded our work to 140 countries. We communicate in over 30 languages through a simultaneous Google Translate feature embedded in our collaboration center. Also, and through our exchanges, our students are learning those critical languages. We have 50,000 educators and 2 million youth that regularly engage with us at various points in time. Not every day, but at various points in time. This is a picture of some students because we work in K-12, and one of the beautiful girl in the pink is the daughter of one of our staff members, and this is a picture of taken some time back of a younger class connecting. You can see how important it is to build empathy from as young as 5 years old. iEARN around the world. The exciting thing about iEARN is that it's decentralized, and each iEARN center operates as its own center with the same shared goals, but they each have their own logo, they each have their own staff. We collaborate and connect with each of these centers, but you can see how some of them have even, taken the name and made it a little different. And we collaborate through online projects, through professional development, face-to-face workshops, and supporting and each other through global online courses, and then through events and exchanges, both physical and virtual. We have over 100 teacher design projects. We curate the space through our virtual collaboration center, and the teachers design them. So we are curators and conveners. We are not really creators of projects, but we can help teachers in designing projects and the pedagogy around what it means to be a facilitator of virtual exchange. This is around global project-based learning, primarily asynchronous, meaning that because of bandwidth issues, a lot of teachers and students do their projects offline and then upload them to our center. They are teacher-initiated and facilitated, and they connect diverse subject areas and standards, including the UN Sustainable Development Goals, of which there are 17, and as you know, that they were set forth last year to help us really bring us closer together as a world, a unified world. Unified, I know, is we're not unified, but we're trying to get closer together, more interconnected. The essential question, the question of inquiry that we look at in our projects is how will this project improve the quality of life on the planet, and how do we make a meaningful contribution? Now we're going to show you a short video of what iEARN looked like on our 25th anniversary. Many of you have seen this, and many of you that are on this keynote are in it. So we get to see your lovely faces. So we're almost at 30 years. We thought we'd show you what we look like at 25. We're growing up. Okay, I hope everybody felt inspired. I actually am choked up too. So let me try to get through this. We are almost at 30, and we will have a video to share with you for our 30th as well. And just to show you some of the amazing faces of our human family that are doing this transformative work. Now we want to talk to you about a really exciting program. It's one of many projects we're doing. I think all of the programs we do are important, but this particular one is really striking at the heart of a lot of what's going on in the world right now. It's called the Bridge Program. iEARN has had different bridge programs, but this particular one is our newest iteration, building respect through international dialogue and global education and/or exchanges between the United States and the Middle East and North Africa. And it's an initiative by the Aspen Institute Stevens Initiative, and that iEARN is one of the partners. We're one of the first 10 to receive funding to scale and build our work, especially in the Middle East and North Africa. And that doesn't mean other regions aren't important, but this funding was for these particular countries. The Stevens Initiative is the J. Christopher Stevens Virtual Exchange Initiative. The Stevens Initiative was developed in partnership with the Stevens family. It's a multilateral public-private partnership designed to increase people-to-people exchange between youth in the United States and the Middle East and North Africa as a lasting tribute to the legacy of Ambassador Chris Stevens, who was an ambassador to Libya and sadly, his life was taken in Libya. And he also was an alum of one of our wonderful partners called AFS. They do intercultural programming. So Chris Stevens had connections to many of you who are probably in this dialogue. The components of the Bridge program are fourfold. We provide professional development workshops for educators that then are connected to their students. We help to facilitate trainings with teachers. Then there are collaborative projects, and then exhibitions, multimedia exhibitions. And these projects are taking place right now, and we actually were working with the facilitator trainings with the teachers, and then they're going to implement projects with their students and then the exhibitions. It's a 2-year initiative, and it looks like some of our friends, they said they're working on the environment theme, which is so exciting. So as the goal of this program is to connect at least 400 educators and 10,000 high school students in the Middle East, North Africa, and the United States to use technology to engage in meaningful dialogue and collaborative projects that examine global issues, and to engage in communication for enhanced global awareness, cross-cultural respect, and collaboration. These are our partners: Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Egypt, Yemen, and the United Arab Emirates. There are other countries involved in the Stevens Initiative, but these are the partners that we're working with at present. We do work in other countries, but these are the ones that were slated to be part of this particular initiative. And their work has been invaluable to us. They are true partners and friends, and we feel very lucky that they have joined with us in this program. And you'll hear more about Morocco. The online courses that we've been participating in are 4 weeks of teacher-centered activities, exchanges, and community building, and then we've practiced online interactions in our collaboration center. The project exchanges are over a 5-week practicum. Teachers are engaging students in selected project exchanges. They're centered around 5 themes: the environment, civic education, food security, hunger and poverty, heritage, tradition and identity, and arts and media production. And the skill building is in critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity. These are essential power skills for the world. They are 21st century skills. We're well into the 21st century, but they are power skills for the world in empathy, peace building, and conflict resolution as well. The exhibitions that's a lovely photo from Algeria. Students present their project experiences to the school and community, and then video conference connections are with other bridge schools. So that's where we have the synchronous real-time conversations. We also have a regional workshop and exhibition. In summer 2017, there will be a special event in Morocco, which we're about to have a wonderful introduction by Morad to talk about that. We're bringing together educators from all participating countries, sharing and celebrating program outcomes, and then the support of a new cohort of project facilitators. It's important to know that the Stevens Initiative, it has a call for funding for its second round. So if any of you are doing virtual exchange in these regions, we can send you more information if you want to. There's a letter of inquiry due November 30th, but it's open to anyone that wants to participate between the U.S. and the Middle East and North Africa. Now, I'm so excited because Morad is with us, and he is going to be talking with us about the 2017 iEARN International Conference and Youth Summit in Morocco. So Morad, take it away, and we're going to do the slides while you're talking. Thank you so much.
Professor Tonya. Thank you so much for this very wonderful presentation, and we'd like to welcome all the audience today with us. As said by Professor Tonya, iEARN Morocco will host the iEARN International Conference and Youth Summit next July in Morocco. As you know, this conference is held in a different country each year since 1994, and the event brings educators, youth, administration, partner, professional of education, private sector, and we definitely explore the use of technologies, how we can build partnership, build ways of collaboration between schools around the world. iEARN Morocco, as you know, is called also Moroccan Education Resource Network. It's a non-profit organization based in Morocco since 2002, and NON is very active in many programs. iEARN projects, access program for unprivileged students, Nestle program where we definitely receive US students to learn Arabic during the summer. Also, we are connected and part of Bridge program, and also many programs as part of iEARN programs. iEARN Morocco hosted the iEARN International Conference in 2009 in Al Akhawain University in France. This event was so successful and was under the patronage of His Majesty. The event gathered 450 participants around the world from 52 countries. Next July, there will be the iEARN International Conference again in Morocco from July 17 to 22. The event will be hosted in Hotel Mogaber Palace Agdal in Marrakesh. All the hotel will gather all the activities and will accommodate all the participants. The theme is about innovative technologies for qualities of global education. We have been able to work on this theme by after taking this in consideration, taking the innovative aspects, taking also the technology, and also thinking about the quality education and also global education too. These themes will serve as an umbrella of other sub-themes related to technologies, to project-based learning, to collaboration, to how establishing partnership between schools and educational communities, and also other sub-themes. We are inviting to this huge event educators from around the world, administration, youth, partners, and all who are interested in the use of technologies in global education. We are currently working on the website and all the other aspects, and also the logistics of this event. And The registration will be open in December 2016. The website for registration is now on the chat box, so you can take it in your agenda. And we welcome you again next July in Morocco. Thank you so much, Professor Tonya.
Thank you so much, Murad. This is a time for any of those who are on this in this dialogue to ask any questions of Murad about the conference, about really anything. This is the time for our next part of our dialogue before we end, because we still have some time and we wanted to leave time for questions, answers, and if you want to participate interactively, if you raise your hand, then we can actually allow you to speak or chat, because we wanted this to be as interactive as possible. So I'm looking here to see if there are any hands raised or anything in the chat box. Let's see. And Murad, thank you so much. We're really excited you're hosting, especially since 2009 was the last time you did it. And see, we have many iEarners in the room. Would anyone like to share a project experience? And don't be shy. This again. What about Oman? We do work in Oman. I'm actually going to have my colleague. Yeah, she's going to put the colleague, Jen is going to put the link so that you can see our work in iEARN Oman. That's a great question, Juma. Thank you so much. Candace asks us, I am not an iEarner, so is there a charge to sign up? That depends on the country you're in, and it depends on the kind of work you're doing. So if you are in North America, there may be a nominal fee. We take it on a case-by-case basis. In other countries, it's actually free. So if you're in the U.S., let us know if you'd like to participate. We have different sliding scale fees. We have some suggested fees, and then we have school fees and then district fees. So it would be great to chat with you more. Candace, where are you coming from? Dallas. Yeah, it would be great to connect with you. And one of our staff members, Rachel, she also is on talking about how to connect to others in the Bridge program. And we're going to be in Texas in March. We're going to be at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. So Candace, if you're coming to that, it would be great to meet you in person. Great. Let's see if there are any other questions or comments. Okay, there's a hand. Jamal has a, let's see. Go for it, Jamal. You can click on the microphone. While we're waiting for Jamal, iEARN does work in Mexico. In fact, my colleague Jen just was in Mexico, and there's more work being done there, and that's a great question. Jamal, if you can't get access to the microphone, can you type your question in? The regions of Mexico, so each country operates its own independent iEARN center, as we said. The decentralization is how it sustains itself. So sometimes it's hard to know every single thing that's happening in every country we work in, but we definitely do have activity in Mexico, and there's a coordinator, and we can chat more later. Jen can also, if you want to be in touch with us, we can let you know, because she literally was just there for a conference with Partners of the Americas, which is one of our partners. And the reason why we've been able to sustain ourselves is the strength of our partnerships, the partners that are in this room with us, the partners that we work with, Steve and Lucy. And so we really value them. And yeah, it's just a really important part of the process. I'm going to What I'm going to do right now is finish up my last set of slides and then pose a few more questions to you before we end. So, and if a question comes, then I will stop and we'll address it. This is one of my favorite, I really love quotes because I love to read and I love to write. And I think in particular what's been happening in the world and what's happening in the United States, that taking social action around global citizenship is really critical at this time. And one of his quotes, Martin Luther King says that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And I think that if we are silent, then that equals inaction or what is the word, compliance, or that we are condoning actions. Oh, it sounds like somebody is about to ask a question, so I'm going to mute myself.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hi, Jamal, we can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, fine. I was just setting up my microphone. This is Jamal Slimani from MERN. My partner Murad was just speaking about the conference. And I just would like to tell you how much interesting it is to join collaborative projects online with iEARN. I've been doing this many times, and recently I've been facilitating online courses, and I am so impressed by the kaleidoscopic aspect of the cultures that represent the participants. It's really it's like a beautiful garden with different flowers, and each flower is so beautiful that you cannot not look at it. So, and those are the cultures of the participants who are participating in online courses. And I just would like to encourage people to join online courses or to join online collaborative projects, because they are really interesting. Where yes, we are on a planet where in remote countries, but with iEARN you feel like you are in the same place, and it's really a very nice place to be, where you can know about other cultures, where you can know people that probably whose countries you've never heard of. But then, thanks to online collaborative projects, you get pictures, you get audios, you get videos about those cultures, and you communicate with people, you exchange information, and it's really I can't name everything that iEARN online collaborative project can give you, but it's a really very enriching experience if you join online collaborative projects. Thank you.
Jamal, thank you so much. You said it best. And the word I have been trying to reach for was complacency. And thank you. I saw someone wrote about when we become complacent, then social action cannot take place. And I believe that iEARN projects allow for that safe space for students and teachers to realize their place in the world as global citizens, and realize that we are one human family, and that the earth is one country and humanity is its citizens. And how do we realize that in our daily lives and our daily actions? And we've got some great chats going on here, so let me see here. It says, there was just something here that someone just wrote here that was, oh, Hella, please. Hella, please share your experience. Do you have the microphone on? Can you speak? Okay, so Jen's going to help you.
Yes, sure. Hello, everybody. Yeah, you really pointed out to that fact that we are one humanity, and now more than ever we need to realize it. And thanks to this wonderful network that iEARN is, we realize that it is the planet is one, and we are all the same despite our differences, despite the different languages we speak, despite our cultures, but we speak one language, that's the language of humanity. And this is a fantastic place to help youth become aware of this and share their emotions, share their feelings, share their ideas, share their culture, share their history. And knowing more about the others is helping all these youth become more tolerant, and respect others, respect the culture of others. Yes, I think it is the best place where people can be, where teachers and youth can be, because we are really learning together. And we have so many experiences. I remember that video that was made last year in Tunisia that you can check on Kids Make a Difference. That was a video that talked about the reality of Tunisia today, the revolution that took place in Tunisia. So many people around the world know what Tunisia is like today. At the same time, the students were sharing about hunger, poverty, and how to try to find solutions to these issues of hunger, poverty, and also gender inequality. Students in Tunisia were there at the beginning of the day, while it was the end of the day in Taiwan, but the students shared these ideas about how to improve life on our planet, how to find solutions to these issues, and that was fantastic. At the same time, there was a teacher facilitating from the United States. So that's just one of the many experiences we can share, and I can talk days and days about it, but I'm going to stop here.
Thank you so much, Hela, and the work you do is so important, and we really value you, and I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm already meeting you, but you know what I mean. So it looks like we've got Paul. Hi, Larry. Larry, who is the amazing co-founder of that kids project, is on. It's so nice to see you there. Let's see. Paul is going to speak next. Paul, you have the microphone if you would like to unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. I just want to put a note of caution. I really agree with everything you people are trying to do, but I have to remind everyone we're teaching children, not adults, that if you're going to do iLead to elementary kids from 1 to 3, you're going to talk about numeracy and the sharing of how things are different because of quantity of what we eat and things, and the kids will relate to that. When you get to the middle grades, you're going to get into literacy, and that is, should we rewrite our past now that we see that people come from different paths? And again, the curriculum fits that and relates to that. By the time you get to junior high, the kids start talking about wellness or their future and the future of the planet. And then you can relate to them at the junior high, and so does the curriculum. By the time you get to senior high, it gets to ethicalness and a sense of identity. So I'm saying this is all wonderful, but we should in some ways respect where the kid is coming from as he develops his understanding of his global village, especially past post-secondary, where the emphasis is on innovation and the fact that how will I fit in given my differences. And along those lines, if we can focus on that, I think we could even improve the way we communicate at the different grades and between the students of different worlds. Thank you.
Absolutely, Paul. We couldn't agree more, and your comments are very well taken and really important that you have to introduce these concepts when the students are at the capacity, because not everything a person knoweth need to be disclosed nor be considered timely, right? So if a young person is not ready for difficult concepts, you start with just what does it mean to be an empathic person. And the iEARN projects are tailored the teachers tailor them for different grade levels, and then each country, when they propose their projects, they customize those for the needs of their community. So it's based, it's a broad goal, but really is unity and diversity. So I think your comments are very well taken. We really appreciate them, and the candidness is incredibly important to the success and the sustainability of this work. And doesn't always work. We learn a lot from what doesn't work, and I think that's also really important, that when you're trying to convene a global network, you know, you're going to have things that happen that aren't always easy, and we learn every day from this process, you know, and what we can do to make it better. And we are only one. The U.S. member is only one in 140. So we really respect the needs and differences of our partners, and that's what makes us stronger. So hello from Italy, and to Giuseppe. So we've got, you know, 10 minutes. We don't have to take up those 10 minutes unless there are other things people want to say. I wanted to provide my contact information here. You're welcome to email me. I'm at tmuro@us.iearn.org. And for those who join late, iEARN stands for the International Education and Resource Network. We have a Facebook page, which is, you can find us at iEARN-USA. We have a Twitter account, which is iEARN-USA, or you can follow me on Twitter. Many of our staff have Twitter accounts as well. We also have a YouTube channel, and we also have an Instagram, which I forgot to put on there. So we would love to stay connected and to collaborate, and if there are any folks that are new to iEARN, please, we would love to work with you and learn from you, because we really, our motto is that we learn with the world, not just about it. And I think that's a really important point. And we have two websites. We have a U.S. website that's our connection to iEARN, and then we have a global website where you can find all of the partner countries. So thank you so much for your time and attention, and for caring enough to log on at, you know, whatever time you are in the world. Some of it's very late for some of you, and for others it's early. So we thank you very, very much. And again, I believe in brevity and efficiency as being a teacher. So if we're done before an hour, then that means you guys can get back to doing the work that you need to do. And Lucy has a final question. Please, Lucy, you have the microphone.
Okay. So Tonya, thank you so much, and thank you everyone at iEARN for supporting us throughout the years, and it's been wonderful working with you. Before I ask my question, I just want to remind people that all of these sessions are recorded, and you can go back and look at them. You can download them in video or audio format and repurpose them however you wish. So, you know, help spread the word about organizations like iEARN by sharing these presentations with people who couldn't be here. It's super, super important. The second piece of this is that just to remind people, and I just posted information about this on the front page, we have a PD game going on, a professional development game going on with our friends at Chrome Warrior, and directions are on the front page. If you want a certificate for attending the conference as a participant, you need to play the game, and the directions are on that website. So I want to make sure everybody knows about that. It's at globaleducationconference.com. Right at the top, you'll see a link that says certificates. And in that game, with some of our partners, there are 3 levels to it, 3 missions. One is getting connected, one is attending sessions, and the third piece is exploring other parts of you know, related to our partners and that sort of thing. And I think one of the sessions, or one of the session activities, is for you to attend an iEARN session. I think there are a couple left today before the end of the conference, and you can always go back and look at iEARN's archives as well for their part of the conference this week. And then, so now that I've given you that kind of housekeeping type of information, I want you to take us out, Tonya, by telling us what can we do as a community to support iEARN and to spread the word about iEARN. I know you've talked about it a little bit, but is there anything really specifically that we can do to help support the organization that you want us to end with here today?
That's a really good question, and I need to give it more thought to give a really a decent answer. But I think spreading the word to teachers and communities of practice, that I think reaching new communities, especially those who don't really think that this is important. I think figuring out how to work with, quote, the other you know, especially in the United States, and it's everywhere in the world is just as important. I'm just focusing on the United States as a case study because I'm living it right now, is that we need to figure out how to understand and empathize with those who really think differently than us right now. And so I think the call to action is to reach out to folks who don't think global citizenship is important or it's a concept that they need in their lives right now, and to really help us to educate ourselves better about why others feel differently and to get across the table to speak with those who are different. You know, we have a world a world that's filled with a lot of racism, a lot of sexism, a lot of the isms that are part of an old, dying world order that is literally dying before our eyes. And people, these last bastions that want to hold on to this, we have to figure out how to ungrasp their clenched fists and help them realize that we need to come together and accompany one another into a new stage of being, because our future and our planet and our lives depend on it. So how do we talk to those folks? I would love to hear more from those who are engaging with those who deal with difference in a way that, because I don't want to talk about tolerance. I don't want to tolerate anybody anymore. I want us to, how do we truly connect and empathize and share, especially in communities that really, really, really felt strongly about our president-elect and are very angry in the world right now and want change, but I don't know that that's healthy change. So if we can figure out a way to do that, that's my call to action. Let's figure out how to talk to those communities, get those teachers involved in rural parts of the country, in the Rust Belt, in the Middle States, in all of those states, to figure out how to make this world better, because we have a long road ahead of us, and it feels even longer right now. So thanks for that question, and if anyone has any other comments on that, I really appreciate it. Just thanks for the time, thanks for being here. It meant a lot, and all of you inspire me just by your comments, because you know it was a very tiring week. I think figuring out how to get reinvigorated and find energy to make a difference can sometimes be really hard. So thanks again. I think I'm going to go out on that note unless somebody else has something. I'm sure there are much better things that you guys could say, but that was just from the heart. So thank you so much.
That's perfect, and a perfect way to end. And I just will add to it that I actually have been able to tune out a lot of what has happened this week. I'm just as upset as you are, I think. And because I've been in these rooms listening to the passion and the belief that we all can change things, I feel better. And I think we're all going to feel better if we actually do something. So let's continue the dialogue. Let's stay connected. And again, we appreciate iEARN and everything that you've done for everybody. Have a great day, everyone. There's another set of sessions or two before the final keynote, which is Gavin Dyke. Gavin is going to be talking about a design thinking summit he did with students in India, I believe, at the end of the closing, in the closing keynote. And he's also from the UK and has experienced what they've been going through as well. And I think he'll have some wisdom to add to everything that we've discussed today and in the past couple of days about change and how we make it happen. So stick with us, everyone. A couple more hours. Thank you for coming.